Hey, happy Pride Month. Happy Pride Month, everybody. My name is Minister Catherine Page. Everybody call me Minister Cat. I just want to share a little bit of my coming out story with you guys. And this is going to be on fast forward because we ain't got that long to talk. But I remember being 5 and being different and liking girls. And, you know, to make a long story short, to fast forward my story, I came out in my late 20s. Oh, excuse me. I think it was my late 20s I came out. And I came out to my kids, actually. Well, I came out to my cousin only. My sister only at about 14 years old. And I was going through a tough time at that time. And hearing a lot of things about being gay and how it's a sin and all that, coming from a Baptist Pentecostal background and your mom being a minister and a reverend, or your aunties and them being, you know, in the church. And of course I was in the church on the choir, Sunday school teacher, everything. And, you know, hearing that and still feeling the same way that I felt, you know, it wasn't something that I wanted to jump out and do. So at 14, my sister and I only knew, and God bless her, God bless the dead. But also, you know, I remember coming out to my kids in my late 20s. And I knew in order, you know, they just wanted to know was I going to love them. But I just knew in order for me to really live my life and my truth, I had to move. So I remember, I think in 2005, 2006, moving my kids. We moved to PG County. We went from there. 2 months later, we went to Florida. And I made my home in Florida for a couple of years. And I was able to live my life. And my mom found out, and I was able to talk a little bit to my mom about it. But she just started, that's the work of the devil. You're going to go to hell, all that stuff like that. So it was a very horrible time at that time. And who wants to come out in a time where, you know, people were getting hurt. People were getting, you know, discriminated against. People was being beat up and ostracized and thrown out from their families and loved ones and stuff. It was like a horrible time, you know, in my time to come out. You know, not having much support. You know, I think today is a little bit progressive than it was in the 80s and stuff, trying to come out, trying to be your truth, trying to live you. But I just thank God today that I'm walking in my authenticity and I'm being me and I'm living me and I'm being true to myself and being honest with myself about who I really am. And I love it. And nothing nobody can do to get me to go back in that closet, in that dark space, in that lonely place, in that depressive situation that I was in. So I just thank God for being able to position myself and transition myself to be free, and knowing that God still loves me in spite of anything, and that my love is not a sin, you know, and my life is not that. So I just thank God for that. And I'm sorry I had to tell my story on fast forward because there's so many details in between, but I knew I was different at 5. I knew when I wanted to wear boxers and still wearing girl panties. I knew when I didn't want frizzy skirts and stockings and tights on because they made me feel itchy and uncomfortable. I knew something about me was different. I knew when I woke up every day wanted to play football, wanted to play basketball, wanted to climb a tree and do all those other things, that something in me was different. I knew when I was liking little girls more than I was supposed to, that I want to kiss them and hug them. I knew. So that's my story on fast forward. I hope y'all, I guess, enjoyed the story. So thank you. And again, happy Pride, happy Pride, happy Pride. And hopefully this coming out story will inspire you to make a choice. Thank you.
Pride means knowing who you are, a self-awareness, and being okay with that, because that is who you are. For me, that means if I go and grab a 2x4 and chop it up, that's okay. It is what it is. I am who I am. If I want to shop in the men's section, if I want to shop in the women's section, I'm going to do it because I know what I like and it's okay. if anyone else has a problem with it, that's not my problem. So just knowing who I am and being okay with that, that's pride to me.
Hello, ELC family, and happy Pride Month. I am so excited that Pride Month is different today than it was years ago. It is more visible. We have a lot more support than we've had before, and we have a lot of people who are now embracing and loving who they are and learning how to walk that out in all areas of their lives, including myself. So I just wanted to wish everyone a happy Pride and just talk about my experience with being a lesbian woman in a heteronormative world and a calling to be a minister. It was a challenge for me, and I ran from my calling for about 25 years. A lot of the fear was because of the fear that was placed in me in my previous religious communities and the places where I worshiped. Although the places where I worshiped did preach love, the love was conditional. And I don't believe God is a conditional God. So I continued to look. And eventually I found a house of worship, Empowerment Liberation Cathedral, where I was accepted and I was affirmed as a woman, as a child of God, as a same-gender loving woman that is a child of God, and then eventually as a married same-gender loving woman that is a child of God. A place that gave me such safety in being who I am and who I was created to be by God, and it gave me so much safety that I could finally accept my calling that I ran away from for 25 years. So today I am so excited to say I am Minister Eliana Bullock. I am operating in my purpose. I am operating through my truth, and I am sharing the love of God as any child of God desires to do. And I am doing it as a same-gender loving woman who is married to an amazing wife with wonderful children and beautiful grandchildren. And I do it in a house of worship that affirms me just as I am. So I just wanted to share with everyone during this Pride Month that there is more to being proud. There is walking in it. There is accepting who you are. There is a moment where you decide that I'll no longer accept the confines of society on me. If God says that God loves me just as I am, if I am made in God's own image, if I am the apple of God's eye, then I am all that and same-gender loving, lesbian, bisexual, gay, queer, transgender, plus all of these beautiful things, and that's okay. So I just wanted to let everyone know that during this Pride Month, I want us to take away a certain language that we use when we talk about who we are. We tend to use the word in spite of. And the word in spite of is just like the word but. It erases everything before it. So the difference with in spite of, it erases everything after it. So when we say, I am a minister in spite of being a lesbian, I am a congressman in spite of being transgender, I am a, those things erase what comes after it. And so I just want to say we need to be careful with our language, because when you are affirmed because of and not in spite of. So because of you are God's child, we affirm you at Empowerment Liberation Cathedral. We welcome you to worship. We welcome you to walk in your truth. We welcome you to share and use your gifts through your authentic self, not the self that the society's rules has imposed on you, but your authentic self. So welcome to worshiping with Empowerment Liberation Cathedral, not just during Pride Month, but every month throughout the year. And we hope and pray that the worship service transforms you, that your discipleship transforms the world, and that your love sets in motion the opportunity for someone else to accept, love who they are, embrace who they are, and they too can walk with pride. Blessings, and again, happy Pride Month.
Hi, I'm Bishop Allison Abrams, pastor and founder of Empowerment Liberation Cathedral and founder of Empowerment Justice Center. We're here to talk about our life and how we became authentic. And so let me just say, it was in 2013 that I decided to marry my best friend. And I felt that my best friend was a person that I loved, felt like I could not live without, and she was beautiful to me, and I believed there was no reason why we should not have the opportunity to live the rest of our lives together. And so, needless to say, we got married and began to live as a family. However, everybody was not happy about that. And so I was pastoring a Black Baptist church in the city of Detroit during the time, and I knew that that might be problematic because some people have not evolved in their faith, in their understanding of God, in their understanding of God's love, and how God has created people. And so I resigned from my position as senior pastor of that particular church in Detroit and moved to another city. So I moved to Washington, D.C. and started Empowerment Liberation Cathedral Church. And it was important for me to be authentic because I did not want to have to live the life of where I always said that my wife was my friend, my roommate, my very good girlfriend. Sometimes people even say this is my cousin. So I didn't want to have to do all of that. I wanted to acknowledge her in the position that she held in my life. And I felt that that was the respect she deserved. And so I did absolutely that. Now, everybody wasn't happy. Had some tremendous challenges behind that. But I believe there is a cost to being authentic because society has set its standards of what it believes people, how they should be and how they should live and how they should function. But sometimes we have to go against the grain, and sometimes we have to help to remove or help to move the pendulum or to move the thermometer, I guess. And so I believe that all the people who are living authentically today are helping to swing the pendulum in the right direction and helping to reframe in the minds and hearts of many what is normal. And so I encourage each and every one of you to be authentic and to not be afraid to love and not be afraid to be true to yourself. I believe it's very important to find out who you are and be determined not to deny other people to get to know the real you. And so, in saying all of that, I want to say happy Pride. I want to encourage each and every one of you to walk and live in your truth and to not be afraid to love and not be afraid to receive love. And know that here at Empowerment Liberation Cathedral, we encourage each and every one of you to be who you are and be who God has shaped and formed you to be. And I truly believe that when you walk and live in your authenticity, you will experience the happiness that you have not been able to experience before. So, happy Pride and blessings upon each and every one of you.